Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, if the political Punch and Judy over Brexit had all gone a bit quiet, today things got rather rowdy, with the Prime Minister and the ex-London Mayor Boris Johnson at loggerheads. In a speech at the British Museum designed to set out the patriotic case to remain, David Cameron suggested peace in the European Union was at risk if Britain voted to leave. But Vote Leave campaigner Boris Johnson mocked the Prime Minister's argument, asking why he'd called the referendum if he thought Brexit could bring about World War III. Our political editor Gary Gibbon reports.
It's Europe Day. In other European capitals, that can mean marches, balloons, a day of celebration. Here, things are different.
The flags were out in Parliament Square, but that was about it. To mark the occasion, the Prime Minister said that the rest of Europe might just topple into instability and conflict if Britain wasn't in the EU.
Whenever we turn our back on Europe, sooner or later we come to regret it. We've always had to go back in, and always at a much higher cost. The serried rows of white headstones in lovingly tended Commonwealth war cemeteries stand as silent testament to the price that this country has paid to help restore peace and order in Europe. Can we be so sure that peace and stability on our continent are assured beyond any shadow of doubt? Is that a risk worth taking? I would never be so rash as to make that assumption.
As he left side by side with fellow Remain campaigner David Miliband, the campaign issued a video of World War II veterans backing the Prime Minister's message.
If it breaks, or if we are not in that union, then countries will fall apart.
We need to look at the legal
Boris
reality.
Johnson for the Leave campaign mocked the Prime Minister's claims as ridiculous.
Effort. The answer is no, I don't believe that leaving the EU would cause World War III to break out on the European continent. And as I've said, I think that the principal guarantor of peace and stability on our continent has been NATO. And what worries me now is it's the European Union's pretensions to run a foreign policy and a defence policy.
And he produced a veteran of his own to back his case.
It's us people who saved Europe then, and it is now Europe, can you believe it, unelected bureaucrats in Europe trying to tell us how to run our country, and I find this absolutely abhorrent.
Europe Day here also saw levels of abuse between Tories on both sides of the argument reach new levels. David Cameron accusing the Justice Secretary Michael Gove of being reckless in hoping that the whole EU project falls apart. Boris Johnson suggesting that the Prime Minister had pretty much lied to the British people over his renegotiation. One Conservative former cabinet minister said even if David Cameron wins this referendum, he could end up having to start coalition talks, this time with unhappy members of his own party.
How could it possibly be in our interest to risk the clock being turned back to an age of competing nationalisms in Europe? And for Britain, of all countries, to be responsible for triggering such a collapse would be an act of supreme irresponsibility.
A sign of collapsing discipline, Boris Johnson was asked what he thought about George Osborne's remarks that the Tories' next leader should be serious, sober and principled.
I'm delighted that to discover that the Chancellor is principled, and it's very, very important and sober and everything else, very important development.
In Strasbourg, the European Parliament stood to hear the anthem of Europe, Beethoven's Ode to Joy. In London, saying it proved he wasn't a xenophobe, Boris Johnson tried to sing it in German.
Freude, schöne Goethe, Funken. Anyway, you know it.
They know it. 28 nations, MEPs gathered together. It could soon be 27.
Gary Gibbon reporting.
I've been getting away with it all